So I was in a Discord call, and I was recommended this team to prove that Arlecchino is better than Nevi. And I just feel like I don't like this team, honestly. I have a Yelan variant that I try. We're going to try, I'm not going to do that either. We're going to just, I don't know what to do, because the Perpetual Mechanical Array thing is awful. I just want to say that now. It's awful because it dies too fast on this team to actually make use of anything. So I can show you guys how it looks, but I can't actually do it. And getting to these guys, you have a whole bunch of energy issues because this guy dies too fast, right? So I'm going to try this team. I'm going to show it, and then we're going to just do against like a local legend or something, because this is just so much worse. So I have a bad issue with this team where I will switch to the wrong character constantly. And I think I want to try and not do that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, this, this. So this is the team order that I'm going to choose. Normally, Bennett is like my last character. The thing is with this, I just can't win because you get 20% damage right here. You get defense right there, and you get elemental, stacks. Like you get fanfare stacks for Furina. Yeah, that. All right. So we do this. We do this. All right. Then we have Kazuha's burst. Then we have a Bennett, and then we have a Kazuha hold. And he didn't swirl. Kazuha! But you see, like, Arlecchino was able to do good hits, and then we'll have this, and then we'll do this, and he should die very fast. Invincible. Okay. So, let me try and get some orbs. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so we just want this, of course. Alright, well, we're gonna do this. Alright. We're gonna do this. I hate you. Absolutely hate you. Alright, so we just need... Okay, well, we can't move. I love it when I'm literally crippled by the game, because that's the mechanic that they want us to use. And then, yeah, we can do this, and very nicely dead. Now, the issue with that is, one, invincibility phase absolutely ruins rotation. It's very bad. And overall, you don't get to, take proper advantage. I mean, I would have been able to take advantage of the extra stacks that I had, but as you saw... the idiots are invincible, so it provides a room for a lot of mess ups, which is what this team does. You can mess up a lot, and when you mess up, you feel it. Whereas in a team where I'm running Arlecchino, I'm running Zhongli, and I have, Kazuha and Bennett, right? And you and me a solo, sure. We have this team. This team feels, what did I choose? I think it was Elemental Burst, Restore HP, whatever. We're gonna have this, so now we're invincible. And then we have this, and then we have this, and then we have this, and all this. And you'll see we basically get the same amount of, not the same amount of damage. All right, well, if you don't crit, all right. Oh, yeah, well, you get the same amount of damage, but come on. All right, so then we just have a little bit more here. We're going to grab that. And I'm going to do this prematurely so we can reset the cooldown there. And let's go here and start this. All right. And we have this and this and this. Now, and we don't even need to pop Kazuha's burst. The thing is, with Kazuha's burst, if you swirl the wrong element, if you do basically anything wrong on Kazuha right there, you will feel the effects of it. And then here we are actually struggling for the first time. I don't get it. All right, whatever. There. We got about the same time, and I even was struggling there at the very end, probably because we didn't crit. A couple times I didn't crit. I hate it. But basically, the thing with, Arlecchino is that she's just, this doesn't really do much. This provides a lot of room for mess up, right? You have Bennett's energy, right? Which can be messed up because generally what happens when I, do Arlecchino normally is that I will use Arlecchino's E-skill, I will switch into Bennett, and I will have him gain all the energy that he needs, right? And the difference is if I were to, go ahead and switch him to Skyward, which is, the small little, well, I guess not for me, it's kind of a big one, but it's 608 max, and then you get a load of energy recharge with it. Honestly, I thought the energy recharge was kind of lower, but yeah, you would get Skyward Blade and you would get the energy recharge. But yeah, overall, I use Aquila Favonia just because it has a higher base attack, and higher base attack for Bennett means higher buff. But yes, I want to show a Yelan variant of this team because I like the Yelan variant more, but I have to switch my Yelan's build though. The only way for Yelan to work on this is by using Favonius, and you basically aren't using her for her damage at all, and this is basically the only way for her to work, right? You have to just accept, 50% energy recharge right there. You could get a little more because you could level up Favonius, but let's use Yelan, and this should work very well compared to the Furina variant, where The issue with Furina variant is you don't really vaporize if you don't have Kazuha with Hydro, swirl. It really does suck. Having to swirl, like, Kazuha's thing. Like, I've had it to where he just doesn't swirl anything, and it's really bad, and I'm honestly forgetting what I'm supposed to do here. I think it's this, and we hold E skill, yeah, and then we just don't even bother with that. All right, please, yep, and then we can have this, right? So 180 right there, and you can see the amount of damage that we're doing, and there we go. He's invincible, so we're just gonna take advantage of that, and we can actually do this and gain all of our energy back real quick beforehand. All right, so we'll have this, and we can actually even start setting up here. All right, well, we need, okay, please, hi. I would like to, do my thing, please. Thank you. All right, there you go. And we basically get the same amount of time. Now, that's basically that, right? I don't necessarily use Vape Arlecchino, and I mean, it's just because she's so strong at my level that it just, you get such similar times. I got similar times with Furina run. I'm pretty sure Furina run might have been a couple seconds ahead. I don't remember, but bro, it's so insignificant putting Furina on this team that it's just not worth it. Like, I've never felt more, like, weird about a character. Like, Emily, at least she was a burn team. Like, there was actually, like, hey, she's somewhat unique. It's a unique team for Arlecchino that she's not normally able to run. But no, with Furina, you are actually losing insane amounts of value because you're taking her away from other team comps compared to, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my, Furina on my Arlecchino team where she's like, put on there. With Emily, it's like, well, I mean, with Emily, it's like she's so niche that it doesn't really matter if you put her on the team comp or not, right? Because you basically are using her with, like, one of her best matchups because Arlecchino is just that insane. Even though, literally putting Emily versus Zhongli on this team that I have here, you swap out Furina for Emily or Zhongli, the Emily and Zhongli variants are barely, like, different. Like, you put Zhongli here, you could put Emily here, it doesn't matter. Now, the Furina team probably is better. I don't remember the time, like I said, but yeah, we saw like a minute, 9 minutes 10 right with the Yelan team. It just was a little better just because it's a lot more smooth. There's less room for Kazuha to mess up, right? And I would say that Furina honestly on this team doesn't really do much, and that's also because of the massive amounts of damage bonus that is already existing because of Kazuha. So Kazuha, he just gives you more damage bonus, and then it just ends up being Furina. You don't really want to use her. And even though Kazuha gives 200 EM on his burst, I didn't really feel like it. Like, bro, that's another thing. I have 200 EM coming from my Kazuha on his burst, and it never really felt like it. It never really felt like Arlecchino was hitting these insane vapes. It didn't really feel like it because I feel like she just wasn't really doing it. I don't know, man. The vapes we saw with Yelan were basically the same. It's very weird. And it's also important to mention that Arlecchino, Yelan does give the active character some damage bonus, right? So that is also making up for Furina not being there. And it's not really like other characters on the team are doing anything in terms of damage either. So Yelan only applying to the active character actually is not even that big of an issue. So yeah, I think I've explained decently well how, I don't really care for Vape Arlecchino, but honestly, adding Furina to this team is just very it's like a misuse of Furina just because it doesn't really affect the team. Like, it doesn't. It really, really doesn't. And I feel like I might, like, if I'm going to run a team, it's going to be Yelan. Because, I mean, Yelan, we have Bennett, but then it's like we use Yelan first, right? And then we use Arlecchino, then we use Bennett. So Bennett's going to get all those pyro particles that you have. It's a lot more of a smoother rotation. You don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to give any characters extra energy recharge. I mean, my Bennett's at 245, right? Just not good. And, my Kazuha at 150, normally he used his 2E skills. But, I mean, in this team, you literally only need Kazuha to use his E skill. Or you could try for his burst if you are able to. But, yeah, you have to be within his field to actually receive the Elemental Mastery. But, yeah, there were very few times where Arlecchino vaped and was like, wow, 300k. And I feel like that's when Kazuha's EM actually made a difference, right? Because 300k EM, right? Not 300,000 EM. That's not happening. If that happens, Arlecchino would actually just hit the most insane numbers. But 300 1000 damage from an Arlecchino who was getting 200 EM from Kazuha's C2, right? So it's just like, it didn't really, like, this team is a lot more functional than the Furina team. Yeah, other than that, that's going to be it for this video, because, I mean, I just wanted to share my, you know, it works. The Furina team works. I mean, you saw the time wasn't really different. It just, you know, that's the issue. That's like, it's kind of the issue. You're using Furina on a team, and she doesn't really improve the team much. And that's where it's like, well, why would you do it? And also, Arlecchino gets to keep all of her health, which, you know, is good. Like, all right, people will say Arlecchino is squishy, but then, like, she's not. But then if you use Furina with her, oh yeah, she's at 50% health. Yeah, I wonder, yeah, is she squishy, huh? Is she squishy? Is she? You know, Arlecchino is nowhere near as squishy as people will say, honestly. I want to test something. So we've constantly been seeing that, you know, Furina doesn't really do mini vapes on, you know, when you have Kazuha helping her. I want to test what the difference is with Kazuha's burst and without. So we are literally just gonna, just for the sake of argument here, let's see. And it is also important to note that Yelan may have gotten 3 because she took longer on her thing. Okay, well that was kind of a mistake on me. I kind of just went thinking that, oh yeah, we'll be fine. But I want to see purely just with Furina and Arlecchino, how many vapes are we gonna get here? Just a full combination. Now I wanted to switch to Arlecchino there. All right, trust me, guys. I wanted to switch to Arlecchino. Yeah, I need my. All right, come on. All right, so there's 1, the initial hit. 2, that was the 90,000. 3, that might have been Furina's vape. 40,000 was definitely her. 35,000 was her. Okay, you know, we're not getting. Okay, hold on. This is giving mixed results now. Hold on, guys. So let's just use Kazuha's Z skill to buff, right? So let's do this, alright. And then we'll do this, and I mean, I guess we'll do this, sure. 2/3, what? Dude, VV isn't proccing correctly. Bruh. Guys, this is an interesting turn of events. Like, actually. Like, Kazuha's burst is just worse on this team. Like, it is. I felt it. The feels impact, man. It worked. It worked. You idiots. Yes. The feels impact wins. The feels impact wins. Oh my. Was that 3 vapes in a row, or was I just hitting that hard? Simple solution. 130. Not very good there. Alright, we're done. Yeah, sure. One bad thing is we don't actually have our thing up because we killed him so fast. I'm just gonna do this. Why would I use Bennett here? That wasn't even like a lucky run. I think it's legitimately getting to the point where my Arlecchino is so powerful that characters taking up too much like screen time when you're doing a rotation actually hinders the team. And I think that's what we just saw there, because that was by far the strongest run we've ever done here, right? Like, it's getting to that point. And I mean, I just did sort of the cheap end where I was like, all right, whatever, I'm not going to pop Bennett's burst. I wasn't really doing that before. But even if I used Bennett there, I still would have gotten a lot better, you know, time than previous iterations of this. So it becomes like a, you know, like, Arlecchino is like just that strong. My Arlecchino, at least, is just that strong to where taking up time on Kazuha, like, is just Bennett and Furina better than using Kazuha here? If I pop Zhongli on the team, what is this going to look like? Is that going to help us? I don't think so, because we are getting the buff from Kazuha here. Like, we can definitely see a little bit of the buff. You know, and then he's going to fly away, sure. All right. All right, then we'll just, oh, 230, yeah. And then, I mean, she does about the same amount of vaporizes, dude. All right, and we just got to save. Like, dude, we're already done. Dude, I don't know. It might just be this boss specific, but, like, I think it's purely just in AoE situations also. That is another thing. It could be AoE situation only. Where Furina is, like, you want to, like, sort of apply the Hydro. That is one thing. And then we'll do this, sure. You're cooked. Yeah. And then we're doing 140. What was the time there? What was the time there? Yeah. Just like clearly that is a better time than everything that we tested out, and I'm not so sure whether I would use Yelan there. Like, you know, the variant where Kazuha just doesn't necessarily get used was actually kind of the strongest variant. Like, you know, I feel like Kazuha's burst is kind of just like a lie. Like, it's a temptation that you want to go for, but then it's like, you know, it doesn't really do nothing. Even if you absorb Hydro with it, it's not helping your Hydro application. It's actually just not, or at least it's not helping it enough to the point where his burst, like being on field with his burst, is actually worth it. I think it may only literally be for like AoE situations, and then even still, in terms of AoE situations, I feel like you can just not. And then so like you have to sort of optimize it. So then it's like, well, then Yelan being good, and then it's very weird. Yeah, doing Kazuha's burst there just doesn't help. I feel like I am only going against the one guy. I mean I can't go against the 3 guys over here. They got all the electro and stuff. I do wish I could go against like double enemies, but I do not. I don't want to go against the thing. I don't want to defeat the Hydro Tulpa again. It's just not. No, I'm good. So yeah, overall, is that Arlecchino's best team? I mean, that definitely made me think positive of it. I mean, I was going for more the VV shred, honestly. But even with like what should have been the Viridescent shred, it didn't really go up in damage. Like, I had Kazuha's C2 active. I had, you know, all this stuff happening. You know, the res shred did happen. I was hitting him with the Pyro Swirl, and I was buffing him with Kazuha, and then the damage just didn't go up, really. It was kind of weird. Like, honestly, it was. Like, why am I hitting 180 Vaporizes? And I don't think Furina was the one vaporizing. I was hitting 180 Vaporizes, which, you know, that makes sense, right? Like, Arlecchino hitting that amount of Vaporize isn't something that I'm, like, super wow about, because it's like Arlecchino has hit 350,000 on this team. I feel like it just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like there's some weird mechanism of Arlecchino, like, just not working well with all these buffs or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Because, like, she's hit 300,000 before, and I'm pretty sure it was the first, like, cycle of the second chamber. I know for a fact. I mean, I think we hit, like, somewhere around 300,000 at the beginning of this video. Like, these buffs, like, are weirdly absent at sometimes, and I think it's Kazuha's C2. I think legitimately Kazuha's C2 is some weird, it has to be like bugging or something. I feel like it just isn't working. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I just feel like it's not working, because it doesn't make sense why I would be hitting 180,000 Vaporize, and then if I just do the same exact thing with Kazuha, I can hit like a 200,000 Vaporize outside of his ring. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, we can all agree that doesn't make sense. Like, I should get more with the 200 Elemental Mastery, but I'm just not getting that much. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm not insane, right, guys? Right? Like, I mean, you could say the attack scaling on her hits, maybe, like, depending on what hit you hit. But, like, she gets so much attack scaling added to this stuff. Like, it's not really, like, there shouldn't be that big of a difference, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but, like, I feel like, you know, if you hit on one of these, I guess it would be lower. But, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense, man. And then the 350,000 Vaporize, yeah, it simply just does not make sense to me, because it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get why it does that, but yeah, that I weirdly I've recorded 14 minutes of footage here. I'm probably just gonna edit this down until like the successful to like 2 runs where we saw, you know, the extra, you know, damage. Like, I think that's gonna be what I do. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.